Hurricane Lorenzo is expected to strike the Azores tonight and is still a Category 2 hurricane with winds of 105 miles per hour and a pressure around 951 millibars at 2 p.m. UTC this October 1st. The CDPS is still looking at Flores for a possible landfall, regardless of whether it does so or not. Even if it just moves offshore, we're still looking at a stage 6 on the CDPS, which is potentially catastrophic. This is quite clearly going to be the deepest storm that we've seen affect the Azores in memory. Here it is right now at 34.7 north, 38.5 degrees west. Look how large that wind field is. That's part of the problem with this storm. The hurricane force wind field is also nearly 100 miles in radius. It's currently 520 miles from Flores, 609 from Horta, 662 from Terceira, 750 from Ponta Delgada, and 1907 from Cork in Ireland. At the moment, a hurricane warning remains in effect for the western islands of the Azores, all listed there at the bottom of the screen. Further east, there is a tropical storm warning for São Miguel and Santa Maria. That's where Ponta Delgada is on the former of those islands. This is what the rainfall expectations look like. Still fortunate in this regard because the heaviest of the rainfall still looks like it's going to pass just west of the westernmost islands of the Azores. The pink areas there denote 3 inches of rain or higher, and that doesn't look like it's going to go on and affect the Azores. Most of the islands further east will get barely any rain at all. Looking at that, it's only the westernmost islands that will get maybe 1 inch of rain. Temperatures look like this, still 25, 26 degrees. It's starting to fall off the cliff now, and this storm will be, arguably is beginning its post-tropical transition, but will certainly be underway by the time it reaches the Azores. But still, hurricane force wind, you saw those yellow areas reaching many of those islands possibly. And then eventually the storm will get hemmed in up towards the northeast. We'll still have tropical storm force winds when it moves through the British Isles, force 13 UK, and Ireland will have updates on that when that happens, and then eventually into continental Europe by the time we get towards the end of the week. So this is another one of these storms that is traversing all the way up to the northeastern part of the Atlantic. Models then, still 1 or 2 hopeful models calling for maybe another little peak late tonight before that weakening trend begins again. Wind shear is going to go through the roof by the time we get to the end of today, so that is something that will really go against the storm very soon. Hasn't happened just yet. Sea surface temperatures are starting to take that dive there as well, so that's going to be the main instigator of that post-tropical transition, which will begin at any time. Here is the storm's progress today. Daylight over the storm at the moment, still looking pretty impressive in structure, I must say, for a storm at such a high latitude by now, 35 degrees north. And yep, it's looking very good. Earlier on we had a good eye structure. The eye temperature is not really very good at the moment, but the structure is still there around it, which is more than good enough to call it a Category 2 storm with winds of 105 miles an hour. National Hurricane Center went slightly lower with 100 miles per hour, but certainly 100 mile per hour winds are possible, if not expected, on those western islands of the Azores, and you could still see hurricane force conditions further east on that main group of islands in the central Azores. Very end of that loop there, you can just about see some of those islands start to appear on the screen. So it's going to be a long night and a long morning tomorrow for those western islands off Flores and Corvo. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com. You can also find our YouTube channel. If you're not there already, you may well be. Good chance of that. Subscribe if you haven't. You can also find our Facebook page, search Force 13 all in text, and our Twitter handle, it's @Force13 on there. You can also help the project become even better by becoming a patron. You can see more information about all the benefits involved by visiting patreon.com/Force13. With a special thanks to these people for being our most valued patrons this month. You can also check out our growing merch store so you can show Force 13's colors wherever you go. You can also find a link to our Discord server underneath this video in the description.